same stuff from yesterday, but on your calculator. Which is kind of easier, but then, like I was just saying, I can make the problems a little bit harder than 2. So it's kind of a win-lose situation. Okay, 4 conditions. This is probably your notes too, but just to make sure. So a binomial distribution has 4 things that have to be true. So 1 is there has to be a fixed number of trials. So fixed n. So like we're gonna flip a coin 6 times or 10 times or whatever. In the next distribution we're gonna do something until it happens once. Like we're gonna flip a coin until we get heads once, or shoot a free throw until we make 1. In that situation, you don't know how many tries. So that's the difference between the 2. There's got to be a fixed P, fixed probability. Probability has to be the same on every single trial. Like you're flipping a coin, it's always 50%. You're rolling a die, it's always whatever out of 6. That type of thing. Each trial has to be independent. Which means one trial doesn't influence the next trial. So like you flip a coin, it's tails. The next flip doesn't change the odds because that first flip was tails, you know. And then there's got to be a clear success and failure. So it's got to be like, yes, this happened, or no, it didn't. Not like, well, it kind of happened. Alright, and then there's these 2 calculator commands. So there's binomial PDF, I'll put them on the board. There's binomial PDF and binomial CDF. You can technically do every single problem with PDF, but sometimes it makes your life just a little bit more difficult because you got to do a bunch of stuff. But this will find the probability of exactly X successes. So if I wanted to say, what's the probability? I stopped doing story problems here. I just put numbers. But I'm doing 7 somethings. The probability of success is 0.8. I want to know the probability I succeed 3 times. That's exactly what PDF will do. You type it into your calculator, it'll tell you the probability of succeeding 3 times exactly. CDF will tell you whatever number you type in, the probability of that and everything below that. So if I said, like, what's the probability of making 5 or less free throws? If you put a 5 here, that's what it'll do. It'll do the 5 to 4, the 3 to 2, the 1 to 0, and it'll add them all up. So, like, between the 2 of these, you can do pretty much anything. And you could do almost anything with this. It's just sometimes, like, if it was 5 or less, and you wanted to use this one, you'd have to do it for 5, do it for 4, do it for 3, do it for 2, do it for 1, do it for 0, and add them all up. Which is doable. It's just kind of a pain. So kids do different things. Like some people are like, I'm just doing this every time I don't care if it's annoying. Some people like, it just kind of depends. So those are your two options. So for this one, exactly X successes. And here I'm looking for exactly X to be 3. That is like exactly what binomial PDF is for. So instead of doing that end choose case stuff we did yesterday, we can just go to our calculator and we're going to type in, I'll show you how to type it in a second, but we're going to type in binomial PDF. And you always go in this order, NPX. So 7 trials, probability of success is 8 or 0.8, and then I want to succeed 3 times. On a free response on the AP test, and I will put a couple of these on my test also, you've got a label. So you're going to go at the bottom and just say that's N, that's B, and that's X. Obviously, like a multiple choice, they'll never know if you label it or not, right? But on a short answer where you have to fill it out, I'm going to want to see those labels because the AP does want to see those labels. So that's the setup. So go ahead and grab your calculator. And that second distribution, or second bars, however you want to say that, like you're going to normal CDF. And then if you go up, you can scroll down. It's A that we're looking for. So you can scroll like all the way scroll up, it flips. It's a little bit faster. And I think some are like this. Does anybody's pop up and say like, what's N, what's P, and what's yours do? So trials is N. And then what's its N? P is probability. And then the X is the 3i. Anthony, is that what you're good then? So if it pops up, it just prompts you to answer those things. But I'm just going to type, I got to type N, just exactly what I just wrote down. So 7, comma 0.8, comma 3. Second bar is done. Are we good? Okay. And then enter. So I should get 0.0287, I guess. Are we all getting that? I have trouble finding that on the calculator and getting anything to the printer. Okay. So that's PDF. If you're looking for exactly a certain number of successes, that's what you're going to use. The probability of X or less successes, you got to be a little careful on these. Oops, there's no, it says N equals 0.7. Cross out that point, N is equal to 7 there. So you don't have to write out the numbers, but I think it's helpful at least to think about it. There's 7 trials. So those are my possibilities for success. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which numbers are less than 3? 0, 1, and 2. Is there 1 on your decimal? So the number you put into the calculator, it will find something to do binomial CDF. NPX, and in this case, X is the number that you want to be less than or equal to. So I know the problem says less than 3, but I want to put the number that's less than or equal to. So I don't want to put a 3 in. If I put 3, it'll find 3, 2, 1, and 0. I only want 2, 1, and 0. So that's why I think this is really helpful. So I'm going to put 7, comma 0.8, comma 2, label my NPX. And what that 2 does in the CDF is it does 2 and everything below it. So 2, 1, and 0, which is exactly what I wanted. So in the CDF, it's just right below the PDF. So second bar is again. Scroll up, scroll down, whatever. It's B. And then you type in the same thing. It's just the C. Type it in the same way, but the C means we're accumulating everything up to and including the 2. So that I got 2.004. Did you get that? It seems really small. Okay. Question on getting that in the calculator. Are you still the calculator or the paper calculator? Did you put the CDF or did you do PDF again? Did you guys, is yours okay with your, I don't know what yours says. Did you choose normal? You're like in the normal CDF. Adjust the contrast. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if your screens are too light, too dark, but if you hit second on the up arrow, it makes it darker. So you can like second up, second up, second up. If you hit second down, it makes it lighter. Nice. Alright, how else could I have done this one without using CDF? You don't know no CDF, and I say find the probability of less than 3. We just took PDF, right? So couldn't I do PDF of 0, PDF of 1, and PDF of 2, and then add all 3 of those up? So this is what I mean. You have choices. Some people get confused by the CDF because it's easy to put a 3 here by accident because it's like less than 3. Some people do it both ways. Like if you have time at the test, then you can check it, do it both ways, and make sure they're the same. Questions on it at this point before we can start practicing more. Okay, so method number 1. 70% free throw shooter, so I know right away P is 0.7. 5 free throws, so I know N is 5. And I want to make exactly 3. So X is 3. So if I want to make exactly, that's PDF. PDF is like specifically. Yeah, no, it's specifically, but like I'm trying to pretend it starts with a P. So I'm saying like specifically. Like so, yeah. So I'm going to use binomial PDF there. And then N is 5, P is 0.7, and X is 3. I'm going to label those, NPX. And then I'm just going to put in my calculator. So I get 0.3087. Fair enough there. Try 4, or 2, sorry. So I want exactly 3. When you want exactly, that's like what PDF is designed for. So PDF. 6 coins, so N is 6. It's a fair coin, so your probability is 0.5. And I want exactly 3 heads. So N X. And I get 0.3125. You get that? Number 3. So I got put both of those there, and I'll like talk through both of them. You don't have to do both kinds. I think it's smart to like try them both to see like I can do both, or maybe oh crap, I actually really suck at this. I should avoid it. I don't know. So give them both a shot. But you only have to like on the test. You just gotta know the answer, right? So I don't really care how you get to it. I'm just giving you a chance to like try both ways. So if I look at number 3 here, student is late to class 30% of the time. So we got B equals 0.3. At least 4 of the next 5 days, so N equals 5. And what is X in this case? It's at least 4 of the next 5. X could be 4 or 5, right? At least 4 would be like 4 or more. So X is 4 or 5. So there's 2 ways you can do this. I think the easiest way for most people is probably to use PDF. Just do it twice. So I'll show that one. So binomial PDF 5, 0.3, 4, PX. And that'll find the probability that they're late exactly 4 days. And then I'm going to do it again and add those 2 together. 5, so I'm going to do 4 plus 5. And add those two together. The other way I can do it, and I'll type it in a second, we'll get the answer. The answer's not my concern. I'm trying to teach the process, CDF is a little trickier, so if you think about the possibilities, it could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Well, I want 4 and 5, but CDF only does whatever number you put in and below. So you can't do like 4 and higher. You can only do something and below. But what do all of these have to add up to? They have to add up to 1. So if I could subtract out the 0, the 1, the 2, and the 3, wouldn't that leave me with what I wanted? So what you can do for CDF is say 1 minus monomial CDF. The N and the P are the same. And think about what you want to get rid of. I want the 4 and 5 because I'm getting rid of it by subtracting it from 1. So I want the 4 and the 5 to remain. So I want the 3, the 2, the 1, and the 0 to go away. So what number do I want to put here? 3. Because this will find the probability of 3, 2, 1, and 0. This subtracts that from 1, which leaves me with what I want, the 4 and the 5. This is where people start to be like, screw it, I'm just using PDF. Like, I get that. I'm just showing you like 2 different ways to go about it. The problem is, what if it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10? Now you're doing PDF, and it just gets annoying. So it is beneficial to know both, but that doesn't come up very often. We have to do like a whole bunch of them. I'm just talking through possibilities. But either way, if I type this in, so I get 0.03078 using CDF. And if I were to do a test, like it's easy right now because I can just be like, did you guys get the same thing? Okay. But if I were on a test, I would probably do it this way also. Like make sure I'm getting both the same, and then if I do, I feel pretty good about it. Okay, that must be it. Questions on that one? Especially the CDF part, because that's definitely tricky. Alright, try 4. And I'd recommend trying it both ways. I'm not going to make you. I tried really hard not to say your name when we were doing number 3. I guess I failed to do it now. But yeah. For this one? Yeah, so that's the hard part. So PDF, does PDF make sense? So you just do the 3 and the 4 and add them up. So CDF is the hard one. At least 3 times. So if I think about my possibilities, I could get at 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. I want these. So that's like 3 and up. And my calculator doesn't do up. It only does down. So I've got to get rid of what I don't want. And what I don't want is the 2, the 1, and the 0. Does that make sense? So I'm putting a 2 there because that'll get rid of the 2, the 1, and the 0, which will leave me with the 3 and the 4. How many got it right? One of the 2 ways. How many got it right with C? You're working on it, okay. And some people are like, I get both these right away and it's cool, and some people are like, I just can't do CDF, and so I'm just going to do, if I have to add up 5 things, I'm going to add up 5 things. That's up to you, that's fine. Other questions on 4? High 5. Nice. Thank you. Is it okay if I just write this out like this? Like if you're doing at least 3, PDF of 3, PDF of 4, PDF of 5, instead of writing binomial. Don't do that on your like free response ones, but let's pretend this is a multiple choice. What number was that when you did 5? Are we good or not yet? Not yet. Oh, that means you got like half a tank still, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
So I'm good for the long run.
you're good for like, I'd say 1/3. So plus. Okay, so you could do for this one number 5 at least 3 times out of 5. You can do PDF of 3, PDF of 4, PDF of 5. Totally valid. CDF, if you want to do that one, you're looking for the 3, the 4, and the 5, which means you want to get rid of the 0, the 1, and the 2. So you would do 1 minus the CDF of 2. I got 0.942. Questions on that one? Alright. Gucci. So I want you to finish it. I'm working through the answers up here. show the like number 6, 7, 8. There's the answers and kind of explanations. If you don't want to look at